What's up, everybody? Aaron back with Aaron Unwinds after a week with the much classier, nicer, less wound up, or more wound up, I guess you could say, since she does not unwind. Abby Unwinds. We're back with the more traditional Aaron Unwinds. We're returning to the Friday the 13th franchise. So far, so good through 4 movies. And we had the final chapter, and then just plot twist like 2 years later, less than 2 years later, we've got a porn director coming back to do Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. I've mentioned on this channel a few times now, I'm a parent now, so a new beginning. We're just keeping that theme here. New beginning in a different way. So this is just where everything changed for the Friday the 13th franchise. Starts out with Tommy Jarvis. I'm not going to go through this full plot. For one, there's hardly a plot in this movie. It's mostly the first movie, but at a halfway house. And Tommy Jarvis. That's basically the big differences and way less blood, it feels like. So it starts out, Tommy is seeing a couple of grave robbers come to Jason's grave. They dig up his grave, and they're disturbed to find a dead body there. I'm not sure what they expected to find. Jason still has his mask on. Apparently still has a machete and an ice pick in the grave with him. Kills these two. And then Tommy wakes up. Turns out it was a dream. And now Tommy is older. This takes place, I don't know what year it takes place in, because it's like basically just at this rural halfway house. So it could be any time. So it's long enough to where Tommy is now a 30-year-old actor playing a 16-year-old, I think. I'm not sure how old he is, but whatever. And like, there's a cool angle there with the whole psychological, like, he's being haunted by this traumatic event of Jason. It makes sense. He's starting to see him in the mirrors and everything like that. Then we kind of get the event that sparks off the movie. It's like there's just like a lot of hanging out in this movie. There really is. You kind of get to meet these characters, but you don't really get to know many of these characters. There's Vic, who's chopping wood. There's a couple gals doing laundry, and then Fat Joey comes in with his melted candy bar. And he's like, I'll help with the laundry. And he grabs it, and it's like hands are full of chocolate. And it's like, fuck off. And then he goes over to Vic, who, like, you just shouldn't bother someone when they're chopping wood and look like Vic did. But he decides to offer him the chocolate bar, and Vic doesn't care for it. Vic kills Joey, just axes him in the back. And I was like, oh, you don't really see much of it. And that's a theme for a bunch of the kills in this movie. I don't know if they were trying to save money, which I'm all too familiar with the Evil Bong franchise of saving money, or if they were just, I don't know. But so there's a bunch of, kills that start happening of a various degree. My favorite kill, I'll just go with the nymphomaniac guy. I believe his name was Eddie. He leaves his gal in the middle of the woods after they have sex for like the second time in the movie. Leaves her just in the middle of the woods while she's laying down because he has to go clean up, which I just was like, huh? But apparently he had to go clean up, so hygiene's important. When he's gone, there's like a red herring, weird, like country bumpkin who gets murdered, which I was like, okay, I never was wondering who that guy was. But yeah, this whole, it kind of just starts to play out almost like Friday the 13th meets Scooby-Doo in a way by where we get at the end. So we keep going through. Reggie, one of the kids, I really liked Reggie. He was really funny. I enjoyed him, and particularly his brother, I believe Demon, played by Miguel Nunez. So that's like the most recognizable and best actor in the movie. They go like meet up with him in his van with his girlfriend at one point. Reggie's with Pam or whatever her name is. And he's like, this is my girlfriend. And Demon's like, well, what? Right on. And like they have like a nice little, he like offers him a beer and then takes it away and gives him a ring that doesn't play any part of the plot. Like there's some character building here. Kind of cool. Eventually, they kind of move on, and Demon and his girlfriend are smoking some weed in the van, unwinding, and those enchiladas come up. Favorite line of the movie is probably Miguel Nunez running to the outhouse, yelling about enchiladas, about to shit himself. And he goes into the bathroom or whatever, the outhouse, girlfriend starts messing with him, scaring the shit out of him, literally. She gets murdered, and he's like all mad because the outhouse is still shaking. He's like, leave me alone. I'm just trying to shit. He opens it up. He's like, I'm going to get you, bitch, which is his words. Like, I was like, oh, man, really angry. Sees her killed. Then he just hides in there as he is attacked from all sides by Jason. That was also kind of a cool kill. Like, overall, the kills were all right in this movie. But I did kind of jump around here because my favorite kill, again, was that after the fella cleans himself up, he comes back, sees his girlfriend dead, and he like backs up to the tree, and all of a sudden he has a belt around his eyes, and someone just behind him like twisting this, been the strongest leather of all time because it smashed this man's face, skull, caved his skull in somehow before the belt broke. Whatever. But this is Aaron Unwinds. We're going to jump around here. Moving on, we go into kind of later parts of the movie, and Tommy continuing to kind of deal with like having dreams, seeing Jason disappearing in the mirror, things like that. Tommy gets in a fight with Junior and Ethel. I forgot to mention them, the other weird country like neighbors. It's an old woman and her son who has needs. The son's like riding his motorcycle, Junior like yelling about getting his ass beat by Tommy. Ethel's like, come on in for dinner. And then all of a sudden he's just like riding back and forth on his motorcycle, screaming, and then chop. Head gets cut off. I was like, oh. And then all of a sudden Ethel gets a machete through the window as she's making sauce or stew. She makes stew like 4 times in the movie. It looks so gross. She gets axed and like crushes like the gross pale tomato in her hand. Looked like the worst tomato ever. I know these are the details we came for. Then there's like, then we kind of have the standard like other kid who's like in love with the other girl, and he's trying to make love. He's like, I want to make love to you. She's not into it really. He storms off, and he gets like kind of killed off screen. Like all these kills are just off screen. She goes upstairs. They do an homage to the Kevin Bacon kill, except they make it worse and don't show it. So I'm just like, great. Like this is like the first one, but worse. And also a little fun fact. I learned that the score, the in this one, they changed it slightly. In the first one, apparently it goes because it's supposed to be kill, mommy, kill. In this one, they changed it to because it's supposed to be kill, Tommy, kill. So a little fun fact there if you go back and maybe, when you hear music, when you unwind, you hear different things. So you might need that medicine to hear that. But we get to the end of the movie. They run to the barn. They have a showdown. Jason is about to kill Reggie. He gets his arm cut off. He falls down. Mask revealed, Scooby-Doo style. It's Roy. Oh, do you not know who Roy is? He was the paramedic who asked like 2 lines earlier in the movie. Turns out, we find out from the sheriff that Roy is Joey's dad. And the reason that he went on this killing spree is because Joey got killed over offering a chocolate bar to Vic. So, okay. Like, not bad. I felt like I should have felt more. Like, it is similar to the first movie again, except instead of Pamela this time, it's Joey's dad. We didn't meet him ahead of time, so that's a little bit better. But there's just something about it that just kind of fell flat for me. We get to the end of the movie. Tommy is in the hospital, wakes up and stabs whatever her name is. Violet, I believe, is her name. I don't even know the main girl. She was not good, so I'm not going to look her up right now. Sorry. I believe it's Violet. She gets stabbed, but then he wakes up. Turns out it was a dream. And then he sees Jason. It's a dream within a dream. Jason disappears. But now Tommy has kept the mask, and he is finally ready to put the mask on. Puts the mask on, is in his hospital gown, and gets behind blonde girl, I believe Violet, with a knife. And it's a cliffhanger because now we're starting the Tommy Jarvis saga. Ends right there. And that's pretty much the movie in a very scattered way. Let's go ahead and go to those ratings. Yeah, I mean, I did my best to describe this movie. I probably described it more fun than it really is at some points. It's all right. It is a pretty, decent requel, I would say. It really does mirror the first one in a lot of ways, but like I said, some of the things it's mirroring and homaging, it does just much worse, unfortunately, and that was distracting. Way too many of the kills also just aren't shown. Like, we get revealed a bunch of other deaths that are just like off screen, and I think the Roy twist was good enough. That didn't really bother me. So I am going to give this one 3 videotapes for the standard rating there. I think this, if you like this franchise, I think this was a interesting way to go. I think it's kind of too bad that turns out we don't get more Tommy Jarvis saga too much. I'm curious to see the 6th movie because I know that's a lot of people's favorites, but I like this. My enhanced rating, I give it a full extra leaf. It's a 4 out of 5 unwinding type of movie. I mean, this is just so much of this movie is, first of all, like a hangout movie as is. There's like some decent characters and it doesn't get too hard to follow, honestly. So like, this is one I could kind of put on and not have a problem with. It's not the best movie I've ever seen by any stretch. And so that's going to do it. Next week, we are continuing the Friday the 13th franchise. I'm going to be sticking with it until we go through all the movies here. So next week, we will also have the return of Big Blazeness. Jeremy Potters makes his return as the one and only guest I've had on Aaron Unwinds so far. Liv won't answer my calls. So we'll bring Jeremy back here because he specifically requested Jason Lives. I'm really excited to talk about it. I think it's going to be a good time. So that will be next Wednesday. This channel, Sundays, Why We Love Horror TV. John, myself, Fiorella, at times are covering Dexter Resurrection. It's been a huge success. It's going to go on for multiple seasons. So we are here from the jump. So every Sunday we cover Dexter. Mondays, John versus with Will. They cover a different movie every single week. And you can always go back and check out those episodes as well. Very evergreen episodes. Most of our shows are. Tuesday, Why Liv Loves Horror. When She Damn Feels Like It. K-pop Demon Hunter series will probably continue. Wednesdays, you're here, Aaron Unwinds. Continuing the Friday the 13th franchise for now. And I don't know what I'll do after that. We'll find out. But I have plenty of time. I have like 2 more months probably with the amount of movies. Thursdays, the Why We Love Horror Letterboxd Challenge watch-along show. We go over the prompt for that week and what movies we watched. That's every Thursday. Friday, Why We Love Horror trivia, 2 matches of some sort, whether it's Jeopardy or standard trivia or just a clips. It's all there. So like, subscribe, appreciate the support, and we are out. See ya.